Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind. Oh, CNN and their leftist media friends are in a full-on, frenzied panic. You know, it's the same thing. It's freaking Groundhog Month, once again. Democrats make some big play, some big, bold strategy to take down Trump. Except, of course, the modus operandi these days tends to be abuse of power, fake news, bogus scandal, the typical Democrat desperation play. People keep seeing through it. It ends up backfiring, casting Donald Trump as a martyr. And then, of course, we complete the cycle by having Democrats whine and complain on air. Why aren't our plans working? Why aren't they falling for the propaganda? Well, that is exactly what's happening as Democrat panic hits record highs. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so CNN panic is setting in.
Frank, what do you think the impact of this ruling will be on their support for him?
It's going to be exactly what the indictments did. It's going to be exactly what the criticisms have done. Donald Trump thrives on negativity. He thrives on legal systems that try to hold him accountable. And I'm convinced that his polling numbers are going to go up. Just today, the New York Times published 6 key swing states and had Donald Trump up beyond the margin of error in 5 out of the 6. The polling earlier, a month ago, was significant. Trump is gaining. The more that he is prosecuted, the more that he is condemned, the higher his numbers go as people rally around him. And I would say to the judges, as I said to the Justice Department, you're actually making it more likely that Donald Trump is elected next November by how you are pursuing this. You don't explain the decisions. You don't put things in context. And so Trump climbs and climbs and climbs. And right now, he's beating Joe Biden clearly nationwide. As Trump turns this to his advantage, he is the best victim politician I have ever seen in my 35 years in doing this. And this is exactly what he would have wanted in the run-up to the Iowa caucus.
Very quickly, because it stuck out to me in looking at these polls, how many people who sat out in 2020 are now saying they're going to vote and they're going to vote for Trump. So you think this just sort of supercharges that, right? It's going to just bring more people out to vote for him who maybe sat out before.
And the state that blew me away was Nevada, because that's a state with a significant percentage of Latino votes. Trump has been screaming about illegal immigration, and Nevada seems to be rewarding him for the language that he uses and for the intensity of his message. If Nevada's going this much for Trump, that ought to send you a big signal about what's happening in America today.
This is what I've been saying for the last 2 days. A lot of conservatives are angry, and I understand where the frustration comes from, because obviously Democrats are acting incredibly unconstitutionally and just unethically in general. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here pouting or feeling frustrated. I'm kind of elated. I feel like we're just repeating the same cycle, and Democrats are making the exact same mistakes. And a lot of Democrats feel the exact same way. New York Times Maggie Haberman, Trump is, quote, not happy about Colorado ruling, but sees ballot ban as, quote, a gift. So CNN/the New York Times Maggie Haberman is also sounding the alarm. Maggie Haberman also might be the foremost expert on everything Trump. Obviously being a little bit sarcastic, but she certainly is somebody who's dedicated her entire being to writing books about the former president. She is the expert, at least on the anti-Trump side. And even she is saying that Democrats aren't achieving what they think they're achieving. Anytime Trump is persecuted, it's time for celebration. I mean, the data is absolutely clear on this one. Every single indictment that ever hit, from the day New York's Alvin Bragg announced charges against Donald Trump, we've seen a meteoric rise in Trump support. Here's data from the New York Times from July all the way till now, showing the meteoric rise, at least within Republican circles. The more they do it, the more he will continue to rise, just like we saw in Georgia. The moment Trump was arraigned in Georgia, he went up in the polls like 5 or 6 points. It seems like they're finally starting to catch on. Here's another Democrat pressing the panic button.
As somebody who is a politician, I think it's a real bad decision, because I think it really helps Donald Trump. And I don't like anything that helps Donald Trump. I find myself in the weird position of agreeing with Bill Barr in terms of it helping him. I think it does help him.
Politically, there are consequences that actually, and the blowback could help Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with Claire on that. I mean, it's a massive get out the vote rally for Donald Trump, this decision.
We are done with the hoaxes, and the more you go after this man, the more people will rally behind them and view you as the evildoers. I mean, it's basically that simple. Don't need fancy academic terms. The more the Democrats push the boundaries, the more people reject them. And in the same line, the more they push their fake news, garbage, selectively edited narratives, the more we support Donald Trump. Here's another one.
We might. I want to get both of your reactions to this because this was shocking. A Des Moines Register poll of Iowa voters asked likely Republican caucus goers what they thought about a candidate who used the term immigrants poisoning the blood of America. 42% of Iowa Republicans said it would make them more likely to support that candidate. 28% less likely. 29% does not matter. So a plurality of Republican caucus goers, David and then Doug, say, more please. I like this Hitler language.
Look, I'm just going to go back to the...
CNN's panicking that Trump's rhetoric, which they've connected to Hitler, garners him extra support within Republican circles. Yeah, it's no surprise why that is, because probably most people didn't even know he said that. But then CNN goes on a fake news, slanderous rampage for days upon days, and all of a sudden we've been exposed to the quote, except we didn't omit the rest of the context. We watched the whole thing, we understood what he was talking about, and so we see the mainstream media narrative that they're attempting to spin in reality, and we simply get further and further alienated from the elitist puppet master class. You know, this week Donald Trump's apparently quoting Hitler, even though that's literally not what happened. The week prior, Donald Trump is apparently telling us that he's gonna be a fascist. We're gonna lose our democracy, when again the clip was selectively edited and the context was omitted from that Sean Hannity interview. It's been the same nonsense since the whole, very fine people on both sides Charlottesville hoax. The simple reality is people are not buying it anymore. People are starting to see Democrats for who and what they are. They're telling us through their actions, and in some cases telling us through their words.
Governor Christie has also repeatedly publicly said that Donald Trump is not fit to hold office. So whether it is a court that determines he's unfit to hold office because he took up force against our Constitution or mobilized a mob against our Constitution, or because the electorate throws him out, I don't think it really matters. If he's unfit to hold office, we should all be encouraged by any action that makes it less likely that he will return to the presidency.
When you hear Democrats claim that they're willing to support literally any action to stop Donald Trump from winning, it tells you all that you need to know. It's very simple for me. It's good versus evil. You have a group of people that are cheering on a group of partisan Democrat state Supreme Court justices, finding the previous president, guilty of insurrection without a trial, and taking it upon themselves to remove him from the freaking ballot. It doesn't get any crazier than that. And so no wonder it's backfiring. It seems like the only people who are confused are the fake news media hacks and those who follow them, confused as to why their evil plans to subvert American democracy aren't working. What a bunch of frickin' losers.